Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Miss AJ. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or a pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you will find tuning into the Oasis podcast. This is a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. Subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts and watch us on YouTube now. Wouldn't you love to create your own personal oasis? What is an oasis, you ask? An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or a pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you will find at AJO Consulting Services, LLC. AJO Consulting Services is a company that provides individuals, communities, and businesses of color with coaching and consulting services, personal and professional development, as well as social and community connection services. These services include, but are not limited to, dating, life, relationship, and business coaching, finance management, travel experience curation, wellness navigation, and much more. Are you ready to find, connect, and release? Come experience your oasis today. Visit our website to learn more at www.ajoconsultingservices.com. Follow us on Facebook at AJO Consulting and Instagram at AJO Consult. Also, email us at info@ajoconsultingservices.com.
Hey y'all, it's me. Oh my gosh, y'all have no idea how hard it's been to sit down and record this episode. But I'm here and I feel like I absolutely had to do this one, regardless of how long or short it is. And I really wanted to come on video and all that other good stuff. Maybe the next one. But yeah, that just didn't happen. And I just don't feel camera ready. And I don't want to get camera ready, being truthful. So I'm gonna get this voice. And hopefully you guys missed it. But I had to do this episode, especially as Mother's Day is coming up. It's about to be a whole year that I've been someone's mother. And that is so wild to me. Like, so wild to me. Even as I'm thinking about this, I'm getting emotional and like it's been a year. It's been a year for sure. So I know I owe you guys some episodes just talking about the latter half of my pregnancy and postpartum, and I promise I'm gonna get those to you, and I hope by the end of the month. But I'm gonna refer to it in this episode because that has been my reality this past technically 2 years, which is wild. But postpartum has been something. This year of motherhood has been something. And the reality is, it literally almost took me out. And that's something that I do want to talk about because I think it needs to be documented and discussed. But before I get into all of that, a big shout out. Thank you. You the shit. You deserve everything. To my mother, but to all the mothers out there, to all the mothers, and this is not just about giving birth. I mean, the mothers that really out here doing it. Whether solo or with your tribe. But to see motherhood and then to experience it, oh baby, so different. So different. The ins and outs of motherhood is wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. And this past year has really given me a different perspective, a deeper perspective, because again, I've mothered children before. But baby, it is definitely a different beast when it's you 24/7 with your kid. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a different beast for sure. But for real, y'all mamas, y'all rocking it. Whether you get it right or perfect every day, which I already listen. But y'all out here doing it. Seeing motherhood, experiencing motherhood has been a very different ride. And like I said, I've mothered before, but I didn't give birth. And it really is a different feeling. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling knowing that this is your sole responsibility and you are pouring everything into that child versus you are just nurturing a child. It does feel different. And in the words of my friend Ayana, my sister, it's the hardest yet most rewarding thing we'll ever do. And she shared this with me just this morning because, she posted something and sounded stressed. And so I said, let me reach out just, because nowadays, yes, people post stuff and you don't know if they're serious. You don't know if it's really their life. However, I rather touch base, check in if you can, if you have that type of relationship with that person, because you never know. I mean, I sometimes do it to people I haven't even talked to in years. If I see something, I'll DM them or something, be like, hey, are you okay? Just to know that somebody is there. If they wanted to talk to them, somebody sees them. So, had to check in with her because she has 2 toddlers. God bless her. Because I can't, Lord. Oh, my one is toddlering before she's a toddler. And it's like, my Lord, the level of patience I have to possess, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, before I go off on a tangent. And so I touched base with her and, just to touch base, see how she's doing. And, we eventually give each other some encouragement of like, Mama, I see you. You got this. We good, and I've always known sisterhood was important, but especially when you become a mother, like to know you can lean on other women who's been there before or who's going through it with you. There's a special feeling about it, and it feels good, to be able to do that. But y'all, it's a lot. And for that fact, I decided to add some new services to my small business. And not only do I know it's needed, it is so important now going through the process of how much it would have been helpful to have those services if someone was offering them. And so I'm offering now prenatal and postpartum coaching, and that's to individuals and families. And that's really to get people to think about certain aspects before getting pregnant, while pregnant, and then after you have a child, of like working through what that process looks like. Because let me tell you, things change. What you thought was going to happen, what you thought you was going to do, how you thought you was going to feel, all those things change. And it's, I think, so imperative that at least have a conversation about it and prep for it, or just have somebody who can guide you through it while you're going through it. And and it is different than like, oh, your mama or your cousin or whatever. It's like someone who's you're not gonna feel judged by, and you can really just ask what you want or say the things that you want to say and just be like, does that make sense? Is that something I can work through? Because baby, I don't know what it is about having a baby that people think that they are not privy to your personal life and you and your child, and people just feel like they can tell you what to do. I don't know why people are like this, and it's the wildest freaking thing. Like, but it's different of like not having those external factors influence you when you can have someone who can sit down with you to think about and talk through the things you want to do and how you can put those things in place and for you not to feel judged. And so those are some new services that I'm offering. Please tell your friends. And I'm talking to especially women, because I think there's a lot of things that other women don't talk to you about. They don't speak on, that we don't think about until you're in the thick of things. And I'm talking about women who are thinking about having children. This is also for you. That there's a lot of things that, even though I thought this out and this was a whole planned thing, a planned pregnancy, there were still so many things as they were happening. I was like, oh, definitely didn't think about that. Oh, I definitely wish I knew about this. So this is not just for people who are currently pregnant or just had a baby, but for those who are thinking about having a child at some point, this is for you as well. So spread the news, tell your friends. I will start doing some advertising for it, but I figure I'll tell you all first. And yeah, motherhood. I am truly grateful for the experience. Now, if you would have asked me this in the earlier months, I'd have been like, no, I wasn't with the shits, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was a lot. During pregnancy, you feel like you were alien. Let me rephrase that. You feel like you have an alien in your body, and then you feel foreign to your own body. At least for me. Let me say that. And then when you postpartum, you just feel so out of sorts. At least early postpartum, you just feel so strange and weird. But now, getting to a point where I feel okay, you know? I can honestly and truly say now, almost a year in, probably started maybe a couple of months, maybe around 6-ish, 7-ish months, I'm like, oh, things just settled in differently, and you didn't feel like you were just trying to survive through the day. But now you're like, okay, you know, shit is still hard, but let me rephrase that. Days are different. Every day is a different day. It's not, I wouldn't want to say it's necessarily hard. It has its moments of hardness. It has its moments of difficulty. But then it also is like what Yana said. It's like rewarding. It's amazing. It's so like, aw, you know? Seeing this little person go from like a little worm when they come out to like walking and just have this personality, and it's like, oh wow, that's amazing. And then so much responsibility at the same freaking time. It's like it's a mixed bag of emotions and thoughts and feelings. But I'm grateful. I definitely can reach a point where I'm like, I'm totally grateful. I look forward to the days, you know, like spending the time with her and like engaging with her and seeing what new things she's gonna do today. You know, more sleep would be nice. I'll be even more grateful if I had some sleep, you know, more sleep, you know what I'm saying? But it is a beautiful thing. And you know me, y'all, I'm a balanced person, and it also is not fun sometimes, you know? I have less and less moments of, oh man, like I miss that, or I miss my old life, which thank God for, because in the beginning, baby, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of like anger. It was just a lot of grief. I grieved a lot. I grieved heavy during pregnancy and early postpartum. I grieved a lot, and I had to let go of that. I had to just accept, one, that you literally prayed for this experience, and just owning up to the fact that you're different now. You're literally somebody's mama. You are still you, but evolved. You know what I'm saying? And so I kept looking at oh man, my life is so different, it's so different. I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's like, yeah, it's true. There's some things you cannot do right now. You know, there's a lot of things that had to change, but some of those things are temporary, and so really giving myself a different outlook and different perspective, and I was able to calm that part of me to even now it's like some things I don't even miss anymore, or if I do, it's very seldom. And it's like, oh, if I can do something cool, let's go, let's do it. If I can't, all right. And not feeling like, oh my God, my life is over, because it's not over. It's just different. But I am thankful and I am grateful. Like I said, I had my baby later, late 30s. So I did some living. I did a lot of things that I wanted to do. And so I think that also helped me not feel like I missed out on so much stuff. The things I miss out on most, of course, is like travel and whatever. I'm like, but that's delayed. It's not completely done. It's just delayed for now. And it's gonna be a little more difficult. A lot more planning is involved, But truly am grateful. I pray, that that I not only get to see this 1 year motherhood, but many, many more. And I truly wish every mom out there a wonderful, joyous, precious, beautiful Mother's Day. And of course, we always say this, it should not be just one day that you are loved up on and appreciated, but unfortunately, sometimes that's just what it is. But I pray that you are loved up on, you are shown appreciation, and that you feel as special as you are. Because this shit ain't easy. It ain't easy. It's a lot. It definitely is so much that goes into it just to make sure that your child is good. But, and I want to say above all, because I do believe that you need to be good. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking moments to yourself, to be alone. That's something I had to learn more so, which is wild because I spent so much time alone prior. But then when you have your baby, you're like very like protective and all that other stuff, but just taking those moments to just pour back into yourself. And I was doing it, I was like on survival mode. I was just sleeping and eating and sleeping. Sometimes sleep will win over food. Okay, I ain't even gonna lie. But then once you kind of get out of that haze and really taking the time to do the things that make you feel good, make you feel like the woman that you were before, just make you feel alive, and just grounded. That's important. You have to take that time for you, because without you, nobody else is gonna be good. So I pray that you all have a great Mother's Day. Until next episode, I promise there will be another one. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts and YouTube. Rate us and leave us a review and comment on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and YouTube. Share your favorite episode and like us on Instagram and Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, want to be a guest, or any show ideas, contact us at ajaysoasis@gmail.com. That's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com, or direct message us on Instagram and Facebook.